Yahweh, Yahweh, Ahad, Shema, Yashala, Yahweh, Allah Yahweh, Yahweh, Ahad, Shema, Yashala, Yahweh, Allah Yahweh, Yahweh, Ahad, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Bahasar Chaha Kodash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone well. Peace and blessings, health and bliss to the house of David the elect. I was a high spirit and loyal. And today I want to go into a live stream entitled The House of Jacob is Not Basic. Alright, the house of Jacob is not basic. Or the Israelite band for that matter is not basic. Now, don't get me wrong. 2/3 of Israel are lower nature as hell, but it tells you in the scriptures that they are them that live after the flesh, for lack of better words, roughly paraphrasing. But I'm doing this live stream to pierce that veil and to break that eyes of so-called white supremacy, that eyes, that deception that the so-called white man is on a divine level, are on a much higher level, and that Eve is on a much higher level than Jake, because Jake has been gaslighted. Now, once again, what is gaslighting? Gaslighting is, it actually comes from a book in which a man decided to play a game on his wife. This is in a fiction novel, and he was a wicked man, right? And what he would do, when his wife would leave the room, she would turn the gas light off, but behind her back, he'll turn the gas light back on. He'll ask her, he'll tell her, why you keep leaving the room and leave the light off? Leaving the light on. And she'll be like, I know I just turned the light off when I left the room. He kept playing that game, until she started to question her own reality, and eventually questioned her sanity, and ended up in an insane asylum. So what is gaslighting? Gaslighting is, shalom, gaslighting is when somebody makes you question your own reality. Like the husband that had his wife thinking she left the light on, or really she turned the light off before she left the room. So she was like, I know I just turned the light off when I left the room. She questioned her own reality. And people do that in real time, people around you. You know, people at work, they'll deflect and put something on you so they won't get in trouble, and you would think like, damn, I just knew I didn't do that, or I did do that. But really they did something behind your back, so the blame will be on you and not them. All right? Your spouse, you know, women do that all the time. You know, have you question your reality? You know, the sneaky women, you know. But on a broader scale, all right, what is House of Jacob has been gaslit because Esau spreads this propaganda that you're the problem. All right, he does it systemically. All right, he creates a culture that engineers your ass to be a nigga, right? To be lower nature, to be primal. He creates archetypes in which you follow, and then you 14, 15, you follow these archetypes just to get caught up in the prison industrial complex. All right, you get caught up in the prison industrial complex. All right, and you become the very person that he said you were. But he spreads propaganda that you're the criminal. All right, he spreads propaganda that you are the criminal. All right, he spreads propaganda that, you know, you're the problem. All right, and through feminism is the main modern propaganda, because through feminism, all right, feminism spread through so-called black women, which feminism was pushed to so-called black women through an agent called Gloria Steinem, which is a feminist. But she admitted that she used feminism to really destroy the so-called black household, man. All right, Esau calls the Northern Kingdom illegal immigrants. But I'm saying all this to say the 12 tribes of Israel have been gaslit, right? There's a propaganda that's being pushed where people inadvertently think that you're basic. And to prove that, especially if you're not a suit and tie type of guy, if you have an extended vocabulary, people look at you like, how that nigga know that word? You see? See, Jake want to be a real nigga. Jake want to be an athlete. Jake want to be that top street nigga. But that's still nowhere on the level of the so-called white man. You feel me? You see? That still puts you, that's still 10,000 light years below what you were 100 years ago. All right? Productive. That's what you were 100 years ago. You were productive. Okay? But the point is, there's no accurate mirror in which Jake can look in and see himself in a positive light. So the average Jake, he's been gaslit to where he does not know his worth. All right? And feminism has been used as a tool to weaponize our women against us. But through feminism, there's already an underlying narrative that is your fault. So on top of Edomite supremacy, on top of a propaganda that's being spread that so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man cannot be trusted. All right, he's a father, he's a deadbeat dad. All right, he's a criminal. All right, every day he's on the news doing some dumb shit. All right, but then you have the feminist propaganda that says, like I say, he's a deadbeat dad. He's incompetent. Black men, they're just the problem and all that. But these are, I would say, fallacies that's being pushed that are not in sync with reality. Are there men who abandon their children? Yeah, but most men do not do stuff like that. If anything, a woman will take off and leave, and they never push that mindset in the media. So and what I've learned about the propaganda, when I'm learning more and more about propaganda and the media and the social media, is that when you inculcate people with an idea and a belief, it enters into their subconscious. Like if you want to program anybody, you just repeat something to them. You learn through repetition because it goes into your subconscious. How many times have you heard a song to the point where you might be at work and now you're singing the whole song, not even realizing that you knew all the lyrics to the song? You see? Because it was inculcated in you. So you got a lot of beliefs that's pushed to the so-called black man that makes him on a subconscious level think that he think that like shit, you inferior, or you intellectually inferior, or you just incompetent. But feminism has used that to make Jake feel like he's beneath Eve. You see? It's been pushed that Jake is basic, and Jake is not basic, man. But Jake is on a low level vibration right now. The 2/3 of our people, they're on a low level vibration. They're after the flesh, But what's not pushed through Edomite supremacy is that Jake has a long history of ruling. He has a long history of ruling, but you never associate the house of Jacob with rulers. You never associate Israelites, the so-called black man leaving out the gas station with a fitted cap to the side and hitting a pack of Newports. You never associate that man with being a ruler, man. All right? Jake is a ruler. And when you read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and it goes into the curses, that's ultimately your demotion from rulership. Because when you read the word, when you go into the law that establishes us as a nation, the parts of the law that establishes us as a sovereign nation, all right? That establishes us as a sovereign nation, all right? These are laws established for us to buy and sell slaves, all right? For us to own land, all right? To lease land, lease out property, to inherit slaves. So these are laws set up for a ruling nation. It's not laws set up for people to get up and go to work and get jobs. Or it's not set up for somebody that's on child support, man. All right, this thing in America is just a demotion from rulership. It's a promotion from ruler. It's a demotion from rulership, man. So in this twilight zone that we live in, Jacob never sees himself in a positive light. All right, it's something in his mind, and I really believe when they did the Wizard of Oz, and I just speak as a man, that the lion without courage is Jacob without that confidence, Jacob without that belief, because everywhere around him, he's been told that he's inadequate as a man, and feminist so-called black women are devils, bro. Not a connection want to get bad. The black feminism matter, and you look up their creed to replacing a heterosexual man for being a center of the so-called black race, replacing him with the LGBTQ community, showing you who's in control of this, man. All right, but Jake is so far gone, he doesn't understand. Now he's starting to understand that everything is set up to replace your ass, man. Everything is set up to replace your ass, man. All of these systems are put in place for your ass won't rule, man. All right, the school system doesn't turn your ass to a ruler, man. All right, marriage doesn't turn your ass to a ruler, man. That's not even the model of an Israelite man. You know, getting one woman and being faithful to her. We were not wired and set up by the Most High to be faithful to our woman. You was wired by the Most High to be faithful to the Most High. I am the Lord thy God, thou shalt worship no other God before me. You are required by the Most High to provide and protect for your woman in a biblical sense, because your woman is your property. All right, so your faithfulness to your woman is you're faithful to your duties towards your woman, which is to provide, protect, give her sex. All right, because what niggas don't understand is that we had estates in the ancient world, back in the old country, and you inherited estates from your father, or you might have become an indentured servant, and you got your bag up over the course of 6 years, and you had your own establishment, man. You married a woman, all right, and you might got half of her dad's property, and you got some of your dad's property. When your dad went back to the Most High, you got his property, something to that effect. So we had an inheritance system, a system of heirs, all right? Not no damn 401k bullshit, no pension bullshit. By the time you get old enough to retire, your body done fucking broke down and shit, man. Esau made your ass playing obsolescence, in the sense that by the time he squeezed all the milk out of you, he said you can retire now. But now your knees bad and your back bad. They really did Jake dirty here in this motherfucker, man. Okay? But Jake is not basic, man. This is not the mold that Esau is putting you in, is not who you are. Scripture says, I know thy work in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. All right? So this is the definition of being gaslit. Somebody who's inferior than you, and I mean that. They've propagated a mindset that you're inferior to them, and they've attacked your mind. Like, yo, they have these studies where they say so-called black people, they have the lowest scores in mathematics and science. They're spreading the propaganda that you're intellectually inferior, and it's really an extension of their slave narrative that your brain is less developed than the so-called white man's. You see? But Esau puts processed food in your community, but then turn around and calls you ADHD. Then when he calls you ADHD, he gives you these pills, all right, which is really a drug. And now that's your beginning steps of being hooked on drugs, man. And being that irrational young man that's doing something crazy in the hood. All right? But who you are not who they say you are, and they are not who they say they are. All right? You know, Jacob is more than who they say we are, man. And through the feminist lenses, either you are a low-level nigga that Eve fuck with, or you basically got the status of the so-called white man. So either you're a low-level nigga that you fuck with, or you basically got the status of a so-called white man. And that's through feminist lenses. And through feminist lenses and through Edomite supremacy, you have been dehumanized into being a tool. You have been dehumanized into being a tool for stability, because if a woman doesn't follow your rules, but she just wants the stability, then you're just a tool. Or you've been used as a tool for money. Chicks just associate you with free dates. Like I got sisters, I know how females think in that regard. You know, a dude like them, they just associate that with a free meal, and she don't like her back, and she don't like him back. Well, I got me a free meal. Somebody got to send me a friend request. All right. So Jacob has been dehumanized into a tool. All right, you a tool for sex. A lot of niggas can't get past that shit. Like, nigga, you a tool. Cause Eve weighing out her options. She playing out her options, man. You a tool for sex. You a tool for stability. You a tool for comfort. A woman could know, like, the niggas that like me, I could just use them to vent about my frustrations. That's what they call beta male orbiters. You a man that like this woman, is a pretty woman, but she just use your ass when she bored, man. Have somebody to talk to or some shit, man. And you simple enough to fall for that shit. To put yourself through that shit. And somebody learned in this society, you learn as a man, like, nigga, you gotta have self-respect, man. You know? You can't put self-respect over pussy. I'm sorry, you can't put pussy over self-respect. You know? You can't put pussy over self-respect. But the point is, man, Jacob has been dehumanized to a tool. I said this before. You're a tool on your job. In the way that you are a tool, they don't accept the fact that you need days off. They don't accept the fact that you really need a month off throughout the year. You know, maybe every quarter you need 7 days off. Every 4 months, every 3 months, you need 7 days off, man. And you'll be a more productive worker. They never let Jake reset, man. You'll go a whole year without having 7 days off. You know, if you do have 7 days off, the plant is down and you're not getting paid for it in a lot of cases, man. So this society is trash, man, but they've used and disposed of Jake, man. And you should look up this guy named Smart Guy. He be breaking a lot of stuff down in regards to black feminism, man. But like in slavery, back in slavery, Jacob was in slavery. Let me get through this gate right quick. In slavery, Jacob was used as a tool, because even back then, our wives were not our wives, because it was really Esau's concubine. Our wives was Esau's concubine, and Esau just used us to have sex with our wives. All right, he used us to breed with our own, our own women to make slave babies, to breed slave babies, which we all know that. But now in these little welfare communities, all right, the new studs are just street niggas, because they just fucking Eve, but they don't have no structure. They ain't got no leadership. So what they do, they just breed criminals. They breed little Jakes that's gonna be undisciplined, and fatherless, undisciplined Jakes in the hood most likely gonna fall for the okie doke. They're gonna fall for the prison industrial complex. So which if you're in the prison industrial complex, that's an extension of slavery. So you're still a modern day slave. But Jacob has been gaslit to think that he's the problem, man. Jacob has been gaslit to think that he's the problem. But like it says, I know that works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And you have to think like that. You have to put yourself in spaces that remind you who you are, because you cannot forget that you are a ruler, man. All right. Well, with that, I do hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakudash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. Abba Baal, Kim Yashala, Shalom.